Trailblazers in Portland.
Well, not too much went wrong for them in that one, especially offensively. I think it worked out pretty much just as they had planned.
Yeah, I thought it was an excellent game plan. They carried it out very effective. The kind of game that makes the coach proud.
Here are the starters for Dallas, brought to you by State Farm. Sean Marion and Dirk Nowitzki, both excellent players in the forward spot. Then it's Mayo. Then there's Chris Kaman. And it's James in at the point guard position. And for the Hawks, Josh Smith and Al Horford, the big men. Who's out there with Kevin Harris. And it's Horford in at the 3 slot.
That's his first personal
And Dirk Nowitzki gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Teague kicks to Smith. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
That's the one.
You know, you think about the best dunkers in the game, I think Josh Smith has to come to mind. He did win the dunk contest back in 2005. But when you have that combination of creativity, power, and explosiveness, look out. I mean, this guy's going to be on the highlight reel.
And you think especially of the great dunkers, young dunkers among the left-handed players, Josh Smith is right there.
Oh, I would certainly put him on the small roll call list, Kevin. This guy can bounce and left-handed, even look sweeter gliding through the air, punching it down on people.
Well, you allow them to get right to the rim like that. That's on the opposite.
I think you got to foul them, and free throws are better than a layup.
The Mavericks shooting their first free throws of the game.
And guys, that's really an upgrade over how they shot last season. Not a huge upgrade, but an upgrade nonetheless.
You know, Atlanta's an interesting sports town, guys. It's kind of a transient town. A lot of people who have moved, you know, maybe from New York or Chicago. So you don't have the passionate fan base down there that you might expect. And that's hurt them, I think, over the years. They haven't had the same gate receipts as some of the other big market teams. And that's been tougher to deal with.
Teague with the ball. He's picked up by James.
That's his first personal foul.
About a minute and a half through the first quarter. Horford dishes to Smith. Here's Horford. Hammers it home.
Look at that effort. Does he set a great example out there or what?
He's like, he does show what work on the defensive pass receiver.
Yeah, that was awesome. Put back whip and slam. Are you kidding me?
And it's not just the Hawks, but with all Atlanta teams, Falcons and Braves, they have a hard time selling games out there when it isn't like a playoff situation.
And it's really unfortunate, Kevin, for the Hawks, as they've become one of the tougher, more consistent teams in the East over the last half decade or so. I mean, they played some really good basketball down in Atlanta. You would think the fans would appreciate that.
Good.
3 out of 4 from the floor, so good start for this club.
How about that basketball, man? Wow. Don't do that to him. That was fantastic. Wow.
And Clark, the degree of difficulty.
Major.
That was amazing.
So it's Atlanta now. Home court didn't seem to help any last time they met. We'll see if it makes a difference this time. And the foul call on Sean Marion. That is his first foul of the game. Darren Collison is checked in for James. Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Smith the pass to Horford. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Horford's got 8 points.
Confidence grows when you start a game as hot as he is.
And he's picking the right shots, guys. I mean, he's making it happen 4 for 4 from the field and just taking good shots. Well, you feel good for Larry Drew, who's in his 3rd season as a head coach, because he spent 18 years as an assistant before he finally got his big break with the Hawks. In all, he's been with Atlanta since 2004, so he knows these players well.
Brought in against Harris. Now here comes Teague, leading the break. No good. So the Mavericks will take it the other way. He dishes it to Collison. Out to Marion. Puts it up from 15. Al Horford with the rebound. And Larry Drew, well liked by the players in his time as an assistant. Probably made it a little bit easier for the owners to make him the head coach
always easier to be the good cop when you're the assistant coach. All of a sudden you become the head coach. You need to be tougher. You need to discipline players a little bit. It can be harder to have those relationships with your players. It's always a fine balance. But Drew has done a nice job of establishing himself with this Hawks team.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Larry Drew. And, Doris, what'd you find out?
Coach told me that he knows they have a tough assignment in Dirk Nowitzki. We talked about what makes Dirk so difficult to defend against, and he pointed to Dirk's ability to hit jumpers when he is seemingly completely off balance, saying it'll look like he's falling over, then he just turns and flips the ball in. I know I've seen Dirk do that on more than one occasion, guys.
All right, Doris. Dante Jones, he's checked in for Emma. Jenkins comes in for Devin Harris.
Well, for Elton Brand, the athleticism is waning a little bit, but he still finds ways to be effective. He's a smart player. He's got a deadly mid-range jump shot, and he's got a really good feel for the game.
I tell you what, guys, for Brand, the release of that jump shot of his makes it tough to get to. I mean, it starts back behind his head and has a high release point, and that really keeps it out of reach of just about anybody that's trying to defend him. And then you factor in the soft touch. That's a nice weapon for him.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Horford. And it's Stevenson in for Jenkins. Anthony Morrow's checked in for the Mavericks. Right. And he lays it straight in.
And defensively, you want to keep the ball as far away from the hoop as possible.
Yeah, because he's too good inside, Steve. I mean, he'll make you pay every time in there.
And there's the defensive 3-second box.
Yeah, something to look for with him is how persistent he is defensively. He loves going to the strip when guys are on the way up.
Steve, I really like the way he uses his hands. He's excellent in that regard. It's a risky play to try to go for the steal when the shooter is going up into the shot, but he finds a way to get away with it more times than not.
Ivan Johnson is checked in for Josh Smith. The Mavericks also with the sub. O.J. Mayo is checked in for Vince Carter. The three from Morrow. It's off his foot. And the official saying it was kicked. Scotty's checked in for Ivan Johnson. There's 37 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Collison kicks to right. Rebound, Atlanta. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with San Antonio.
Well, they had a difficult night from the field in that game, guys. They just didn't look to be working very hard to get good looks offensively.
Well, you know what, Steve? I'm going to disagree with you. I thought they could have worked a little bit harder offensively, but I think it was more the fact they just had a cold shooting night, and that happens sometimes.
Scott hits them both. Mavericks trailed by 6. Outside Collison. In low to Brand. He feeds it to Wright. 3 seconds left. That's good. Wright's got his second basket of the night.
I'm sure they'd like to get more shots like that.
No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first.
Your Hawks 7.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. Well, from what you guys are seeing from the Hawks, what are you thinking about their performance?
And I like what they've done offensively, really attacking the rim, getting a lot of points in the paint.
And, guys, they've been the aggressor early. I mean, attacking the hoop and getting into the paint, that can make the game really easy for you.
So with Nowitzki sitting on the bench, here's who Rick Carlisle's going with. We've got Anthony Morrow, Mayo out there with Collison. Then it's Elton Brand, and it's James in at the 5 spot. Kyle Korver is checked in for the Hawks.
And you have to give the ownership a lot of credit for the Mavs' success over the years, guys. A lot of people may not agree with things he has to say, but you can't argue with the success that he's had. He's spent his money, his resources, he's put a ton of passion and energy into building that franchise, and it's developed into one of the best in the entire league.
The pass to Mayo. James dishes to Brand. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
You know, the dunk was great, but I didn't care for that interior defense there, guys. It was non-existent.
You're right, Clark. You know, it was way too easy. I don't think the coach could leave a look at
It doesn't get much easier than that. They have got to tighten up their defense. That was embarrassing.
We talk about passionate ownership on the sideline, actively involved in crafting the roster and the fan experience. You don't get much better than Dallas. From the top all the way down, it's all about winning and not afraid to push for what's best for the NBA.
And I think he wants the best for his players, too, and that's why, as a player, you've got to love, admire, and respect that. You know that he wants to win just as much as you do. It's easy to go the extra mile and commit to a team where that's the case coming from ownership.
Out of bounds, Dallas will take possession. With a break in the action, let's go to the 2K leaderboard. These squads have been lights out this month. Second, the Mavericks.
I just love the flow with which they've played recently. I mean, this is a dominant team offensively because of that rhythm and pace.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Horford comes in for Scott. Devin Harris subbed in for Deshaun Stevenson. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Dallas. Marion comes in for Anthony Morrow. James, the pass to Nowitzki.
A one-handed flush. Very nice.
Yeah, nice strong finish there.
Punched it home.
T kicks to Horford. Back to T. That's good. And the Hawks lead by 2.
Well, that makes 5 of their last 6 makes coming from inside.
Yeah, really focused on getting the ball into the paint because they're taking advantage of very porous defense down there. And Al Horford, a great leader for this team. I've heard he's actually a strong candidate to replace Derek Fisher as president of the NBA Players Union as well. So obviously Horford, a lot of brains to go along with that brawn.
To Harris. Here's Harris after Dirk Nowitzki's bucket. The open shot. Harris.
Mavericks at the one for the Hawks. Al Horford.
And James pulls it.
And that's a shot he had to take.
For sure, it was a good decision, just poor execution.
You talk about Horford as a leader for this team. Talk about that, Carton. What do you like about his game?
Well, I like a lot about it. He's skilled, he's tough, he's physical, he's consistent. He's one of the Hawks' best players, but also is a guy who will do the little things, the hustle plays and the dirty work. He sets a great example for the rest of his teammates.
Matt, James covering. And Matt kicks to Smith. Knocked away. Nowitzki with the steal.
And all 10 of their last points have come inside the paint, so defensively you've got to make an adjustment.
Yeah, and you got to do a little more to stop it, too. I mean, it's coming way too easy for him. At some point, you just got to buck up and say it's not going to happen.
The Mavericks have gone 5 of 11 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter.
You know, guys, one of the reasons Dallas did not re-sign Tyson Chandler last year was they wanted to preserve some cap space. And they had Dwight Howard in mind, but Dallas has had to use their cap space elsewhere. But, you know, the key was just developing enough flexibility to give them a lot of different options. And I think that's always a factor for any NBA team.
Mike James.
On the Mavericks with some changes. Chris Kamen's checked in for James. Brand comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And James subbed in for Darren Collison. Now here is Horford. Following the miss by Sean Marion. 1:16 left to play in the first half. Dallas, to me, Steve, always seems a team very mindful of upcoming free agents and cap space restrictions. One of the reasons why they made the moves last year. Even if, Clark, they don't they get a big name, they always seem to be in the mix somewhere.
Well, they're always hovering around, and I think it points to the savvy of the front office there, Kevin. I mean, and that's really what allows teams to be competitive over long periods of time. It's not just about the players you have and the talent, but it's how you acquire players and piece together your team.
They're very forward-thinking, aren't they?
Yeah.
Hits to Stevenson. With the lead pass. Smith gets it to go on the assist from Deshaun Stevenson. 7 points for Smith.
Great move to get to the bucket and lay that one. He's got the softest touch around the basket. Impressive.
Open shot by Marion. Misses the jumper.
Now you can see why the defense is willing to let him take that shot. That's really not his range.
3 straight buckets in the paint. They're making it look effortless.
Well, speaking of effortless, we'd like to see a little more out of the defense. So how about trying, guys?
Now here's Carter. A 14-point game for him in the win against Portland. Grant. Stuffs it through.
Well, he took that defender head on and threw down the two-hander power jam.
Great power there, guys.
Well, you gotta love his determination.
Here's Mack. And the foul on Elton Brand. That'll be his second foul of the game. Where it goes. No good on that last second attempt there. And the first half.
33.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
Al Horford playing very well. He's got 10 points and 1 steal as well. Tell you what, he played those first 2 quarters like it was crunch time. I mean, full effort the entire half.
That's right. It didn't take him long to warm up, did it? He was firing on all cylinders right away.
Well, we've got a moment left on the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up for the second half. On the floor right now for the Hawks. Shelvin Mack is out there with Stevenson. Then it's Ivan Johnson. Then there's Kyle Court. And it's Smith in at the first. Watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. Atlanta making some changes. Horford comes in for Ivan Johnson. Kevin Harris subbed in for Deshaun Stevenson. The Mavericks also with the sub. Collison's out there.
Josh Smith has that small forward's frame, but his strength and explosiveness make him more than a capable power forward. Sometimes it seems like he'd prefer to play small forward, but I think he's most effective around the basket using that explosive leaping ability and those long arms.
And the shot is good. Mayo's got his first basket.
Beautiful finesse move right there. I mean, you've got to love that finger roll finish.
The Hawks leading by 3. And Mack gets to Harris. Horford with the screen on Mayo. Harris dishes to Smith. Back the pass to Horford. The shot no good. Came in with the defensive effort. And Josh Smith has been fond of playing on the perimeter. Has looked to keep his weight down to enable Clark that versatility.
Well, there's nothing atypical about that, Kevin. Nowadays, a lot of big guys want to face up. And the game is such a athletic forwards that can shoot it. You need to be able to do that at that position. I think his shooting stroke is what prevented him from really being able to excel at both the small forward and power forward position.
Hawks making the switch here. Stevenson's checked in. Easy and fun. He just thrives on making the deal of chilling.
Yep, which is something he does pretty often, Kevin.
Now here's Mayo, averaging 16 points a game. Kicks it out to Nowitzki. Shot clock at 5. Mayo. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Nowitzki. Mayo's got 5.
Well, he can shoot the 3. We know that. But I'm not sure that he does. I mean, they weren't anywhere near him on that possession.
Here's Smith. Another shot. Horford no luck. The Mavericks trailing. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. That game marks the first half of a quick two-game homestand.
I'll be looking forward to seeing how that Phoenix game turns out for sure. Good start for this offense. They're shooting 3 of 4 now from the field, so offense in a good groove.
Smith with the basket and the assist from Deshaun Stevenson. 13 points for Smith.
Offensively just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
Keenan kicks to Mayo. Keenan sets a screen for Mayo. Outside Collison. For the lead. Another 3 for Dallas.
Well, they've really picked up the intensity here since halftime.
I think they got the pep talk of both teams now really going after each other. Since moving to Atlanta in 1968 from St. Louis, the Hawks have been a steady presence in the postseason. Still, the ultimate goal of an NBA title has eluded them.
Monte Jones, he's checked in for Atlanta. Teague comes in for Deshaun Stevenson. Then for the Mavericks, Elton Brand's checked in for Nowitzki. Crowder comes in for Sean Marion. And it's Carter in for O.J. Mayo. The Hawks trailing. But the Hawks in the playoff history, they've always seemed to be the good team that just is overpowered, it seems, Steve, in the end.
Yeah, they've never had that transcendent player. The closest guy they had to that was probably Dominique Wilkins. But he was playing in the era with Bird and Magic. Jordan dominating the league. So it's just been one of those things for Atlanta. They just haven't been able to get over that hump. They've been good, they just haven't been great.
James Smith with the stop. Guys were not through 3 quarters of play, but 6 straight chances already in this one.
Yeah, it's been a really good game for sure. I mean, it looks like it's going to stay tight throughout.
Yeah, very competitive action. I agree with you, Clark. I mean, this one could come down to the last few minutes the way it looks.
Open shot, Carter. And the Mavericks getting another bucket right there.
Just adds to what has already been a great day for him. You know, Elton Brand in his day was a consistent all-star in production, if not recognition. Those days are behind him. You know, he's now more of just a good, solid starting power forward.
Out of bounds, Dallas takes possession.
And now we'll check out the numbers Jeff Teague has been putting up. 8th in free throw percentage. And, of course, passing, such a big part of his game. One of the top 15 leading assist men in the NBA.
Steve, you mentioned his top 10 free throw percentage. I mean, it's really a strong part of his game. And he's the kind of guy that if you're defending him, you don't want to foul him. Make him earn him from the field. Don't send him to the line.
So for the Hawks, Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Horford. Ivan Johnson comes in for Josh Smith. And Stevenson in for Devin Harris. And Wright's checked in for Dallas. You talk about Elton Brand's prime. Mark, the #1 overall pick back in 1999.
Yeah, the guy who averaged about 20 points and 10 rebounds the first 8 seasons. That doesn't happen very often. Did you see that?
Well, we got to see that one again. We've got to see that again.
I need a replay. I'm not sure what I just looked at.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 points. The Mavericks shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Yeah, guys, they can feel very good about themselves when you bring up those statistics. Impressive number.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. Here's Teague. Averaging 14 points a game. Teague gets a screen from Johnson. Teague with the ball. Back to Johnson. With 2 seconds left. Johnson. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got his 4th assist in this one.
Yeah, not a good idea throwing the ball down the court that far.
Here's Stevenson. And the game still closely contested as we end the 3rd.
Your Hawks.
The Hawks leading by 3. So with Nowitzki sitting on the bench, here's who Rick Carlisle's going with. Allison and Carter in the backcourt. Brand is out there with Brandon Wright. And it's Crowder.
Boy, that kind of hustle you just love to see.
And it gets his teammates fired up.
Yeah, especially with the powerful slam to finish things off.
Goes up. The shot's good. Allison making the play.
You know, they're just getting hammered inside and really need to find a way to be tougher down there. They got to be physical. They got to man up in there.
Yeah, when you look at most of the paint.
Johnson can't get it to go. Mavericks trailed by 3. That drive by Carter. That's good.
Both of these teams have really stepped it up offensively.
You know what, Steve? They haven't missed a chance, and I think both teams really know what's at stake with every possession here.
Stevenson kicks to Jones. Goes back up. Here's Tolliver. Misses in close. Maverick shooting certainly a key for them in this one. 55% from the field. And finished off by Brand. Boy, right down to the wire here, Clark and Steve. Still anyone's ball game.
Both teams really invested now. I mean, this is the type of game you love to win and you hate to lose.
Boy, after all this energy that both teams have expended, you're right, Clark. This would be a tough one to lose.
And Vince Carter picks up a foul. That's foul number 2 for him. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Brand. Marion comes in for Crowder. O.J. Mayo, he's checked in for Vince Carter. And James subbed in for Darren Collison.
What a game. This is really fun to watch.
And when games are tight like this, I mean, success or failure can really turn on small details in 1 or 2 plays.
And it's out of bounds to the Mavericks as Dallas retains possession. For the Hawks, Al Horford. He's checked in for Tolliver. Smith comes in for Ivan Johnson. And it's Horford in for Dante Jones.
Defensive foul. Mike James. That's his
Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Teague with the ball. He's picked up by James. And the call will be against O.J. Mayo. That is his first foul of the game.
third team foul.
In the post, Wright's there. And now it's a 3-point Hawks lead.
They continue to barrel their way inside, and when's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside.
And Marion gets it to go.
Well, they've really picked up the intensity here since halftime.
I think they got the pep talk in both teams now, really going after each other.
Teague dishes to Stevenson. Inside. Here's Korver. Again, the Hawks score. Mavericks trailed by 3. Brings outside. That's good.
It's too easy. They're getting whatever they want down there.
You said it, Steve. 5 straight field goals inside for them. The defense has to clamp down.
Teague against James. Teague left side. Smith. Out of bounds. Dallas takes possession. Hawks making a switch here. Harris is checked in. Chris Kamen's checked in for Dallas. The Mavericks have gotten every shot they've taken so far in the fourth quarter to go in. That's 5 in a row to start the quarter.
Defensive
And the call will be against Al Horford. That's his third foul of the game.
first team foul.
Kaman kicks to Nowitzki. Second chance shot. And in he goes for the easy 2. And the Mavericks lead by 1.
Well, you're not going to get a more high-quality look than that. Terrific offensive rebound there.
Out of bounds, Hawks ball as Atlanta takes possession. Atlanta making some changes. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Horford. And it's Jones in for Kyle Korver. Out of bounds, Dallas will take possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Vince Carter, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Teague against James. Here's Nowitzki. Down in the low post. It goes.
He's as close to impossible to defend as anybody, I think. I mean, you can just torch the defense in so many ways.
Teague, the pass to Harris. Open look. It's rebounded by Dallas.
Well, the shot was there for him, and he had to take it. I don't care if he didn't convert. He's got to take that every time.
Carter is for Keenan. Second chance effort. Cannot hit. And Atlanta will go the other way. And Nowitzki gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. And the Mavericks making a change here. Allison's out there. Outside Teague. There's the dish to Jones. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 5 assists in the game.
That's how you get the crowd on its feet. Huge.
They've been waiting for that one, guys.
Allison kicks to Keenan. The shot's good. Allison making the play. And that's now 6 points for Chris Keenan.
That's 5 straight hoops in the paint. What a fantastic job of attacking the rim.
Well, Steve, they're getting the looks that they want down there, so might as well keep going right at the rim. There's no resistance. He's making plays. Huge turnover there, and at a bad time, too.
Show them.
Massive value every possession.
So for the Hawks, Horford comes in for Anthony Tower. And Shelvin Max sub in for Jeff Teague. Carter with it. Kevin Harris covering. Carter, the pass to Marion. Buries it.
Boy, nice pick there, guys. I mean, gave him the space he needed for the hoop.
Harris outside. Three-pointer. Offensive rebound. Here's Jones. What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
You know, down there in the low post is where you really want to create a lot of your offense.
Carter is it to Nowitzki. Dishes up to Collison. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Carter sets the pick for Collison. Marion outside. 5 on the clock. They get a hand on it.
And a chance here to send it into overtime.
Oh!
Are you kidding me? Power punch right there. Now we're cooking with gas, partner. My goodness.
A breathtaking display of aerial supremacy, no doubt.
It's almost unfair, guys. Get up that high, that's crazy. Love the finish there. Not much defense, though.
So it's an Euro victory for the Mavericks, pulling out the W. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that, Clark.
They sure don't. And when it was gut check time, this team kept their composure, kept their emotions in check, and got it done.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Al Horford.